Welcome to the Wealth Detective Podcast. Are you ready to become your own wealth detective, to find money in new ways and experience wealth like never before? Well, come along for some wild stories that will teach you, inspire you, maybe even shock you a little bit. And let's get ready to build wealth together. Welcome back for another episode of The Wealth Detective. And first off, I just want to tell each one of you, thank you for listening. And I genuinely mean that. As a podcaster, which is weird to say, literally every download, every listen, every rating, all of it really genuinely means a lot, especially when starting out. So thank you. And I really also genuinely hope that you are getting something from this and that you will keep continuing to listen. And I hope that you find it a valuable use of your time, because that is exactly what I want this to be for each one of you. So thank you. We're going to talk about a psychic comedian. I know, you never know what to expect with my episodes, right? If nothing else, that should bring you back. Okay, so I have been following this guy on Instagram for, I don't know, probably less than a year, but anyway, for a while, okay? His name is Peter Antonio. Go look him up. He's awesome. Anyway, I've been following him. And this year, one of my desires has been to go to more concerts and comedy shows, okay? So I have a list of comedians that I've been wanting to go to, and I have some concerts that I would like to get to. And Peter Antonio was one of them, okay? So I looked him up, and he was doing a show in Paonia, Colorado. I'm not even sure I am saying the name of that town correctly. So if any of you know and are like, oh, you just slaughtered it, let me know, and I apologize, okay? It is a very small town in the middle of Colorado, okay? Yeah, that's the only thing that I know. I was like, that is the most random place ever. However, it worked with my schedule to go last weekend, okay? I got in my truck and I drove the little over 5 hours, stayed in a cute little tiny house, cottage, Airbnb, and I went to his show, okay? So you might be thinking, what is a psychic comedian? Okay, I'm pretty sure he made it up, and it's exactly what he does, okay? So it was part comedy show, but also he tunes in to the audience. I mean, he has a process, okay? But he tunes in and he says, like, their zodiac sign, date of birth, and their name, okay? And then someone in the audience is like, holy crap, that's me, okay? And then without asking any questions, he just starts being like, okay, because here's the thing. We all had to think of a question, okay? And as we're sitting there in this audience, which mind you, like I said, it's a little tiny town in the middle of nowhere. It was a completely sold out show, just saying, okay? Kind of blew my mind, not gonna lie, okay? Anyway, so we all thought of a question, and then we had to think of our name, our date of birth, and our zodiac sign, okay? And that's what he was tuning into, okay? So then, as he is saying these into the audience, someone's like, holy crap, that's me. And so again, without him asking any questions, he just starts being like, oh, you have a question about dating. You have a question about moving. You have a question about, okay, whatever it is. And the person in the audience can only answer yes or no, okay? So they can't give him clues or hints or more information, okay? And then ultimately, he more or less answers the question and or gives life advice, okay? Now, I don't know tons about this guy other than what he shared on stage this past weekend, okay? But basically, he started doing this when he was like 18, like the psychic hotlines that you would call into, okay? So he started doing it at 18, and then like he now does this for his full-time profession and does these shows and everything, okay? But he's been a psychic, obviously, for a lot of years. And so, I mean, he was hilarious about Christmas and birthdays and like when he was like 9 years old and like the things he would study. Okay. So he's had a lot of years of experience. Okay. So granted, I don't know how old he is, but he's had a lot of years of experience. He's obviously older than 18 at this point. Okay. So I'm sitting there, and as he's asking us to like think of a question, I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know. Like my mind kind of went blank a little bit, okay? And then I kind of like figured out my question, and there was part of me that like really wanted to be called on. And then there was another part that was like, I don't know what all he's going to pick up on. I don't think I want him to call me out in the audience and answer my question. Okay, so I'm kind of having this like debate back and forth inside of me of like, well, it'd be really cool. However, he might pick up on X, Y, and Z, and I'm not really sure if I'm good with that. Okay. Which, mind you, I really have nothing to hide. That's the funniest part about all of this. Okay. But here's what he started with. He said, as I do this, he's like, whether I call on you or not, he's like, listen to the answers and the advice and what I am sharing with the people in the audience, because it will apply to you. Maybe not every answer, maybe not every tune in, but it will apply. Okay. So as he goes about, just so you know, I was not called on, but like everyone around me was, like literally, like all these people like super close. So part of me is actually, I kind of hope that I get to see myself on one of his Instagram things, because he'll like show these videos of the people answering, and you can usually see people in the background. And I was like, oh yeah, I could definitely be in the background. So I'll let you know if I become, Instagram famous by association. Okay. Anyway, so I don't even know where I was at, you guys. I totally just lost it. Okay. So he's answering these questions, and I didn't get called on, but as he's answering these questions, literally like multiple of the questions were just a slight variation of what I had been planning to ask. I'm talking like four people specifically come right to mind that I'm like, oh, that was basically a variation on my question. Oh, that was a variation on another question that I was debating on asking. Oh, that was the other variation. Oh, that one I didn't even know I was asking. But yeah, I actually had that question too. Okay, so it was fascinating. Okay. And he actually gave great advice. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, oh, I actually did need to hear that. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so why am I sharing this? First off, because I'm going to be going back. And at one point, I'm sure I will get him to answer my question. Okay. But the reason I'm really sharing this is because the rooms you're in matter. The communities that you're a part of matter. Even if you don't talk, or even if you don't get called on, or even if you don't, quote unquote, actively participate in the traditional way, it matters what rooms you are in. This happens all the time with my drum ceremonies. And I actually tell this to everybody when we're starting out. I'm like, stay engaged. Listen to what I'm sharing with these other people, because odds are it's going to apply to you too. Maybe not every single one, but multiple things from different peoples will apply to everyone in the group. And without fail, every single person is like, oh my gosh, I so related to so-and-so. I so related to so-and-so. And because you're collectively in that group for a reason. Okay. Now, I am part of multiple communities, paid and unpaid. And I'll be honest, I don't actively participate in a lot of them. However, I am part of them because I want to hear other people's questions. I want to hear what the mentor is sharing. I want to just being in association and being part of the right communities helps to raise your vibration, helps to put you in association with other people that are actively seeking to live the life that you desire, or that you're working towards, or that you're like, hey, is that something that I want, or am I totally good without it? Right? So this became really vital and apparent to me about 10 years ago. And I'll be honest, since that time, I have been in at least one community all the time because it is that important. And like I said, you don't have to go in to be best friends or to be all the things. But here's the thing. I have made my greatest and closest and deepest friends from these different groups that I have been part of. I have also made money ultimately from some of them, not all of them. And that's not why I joined, but these are some of the things that can happen. Friendship, connection, direction, just knowing that you're not alone, that you're dealing with some of the same things as other people, relatability, my friends, to realize that, yeah, things in the world might feel like they're burning down, but not everything is burning down. There are so many good things that are happening. And we also get to choose where we put our attention, where we put our energy, and where we want to focus. So I do have a group, a community that I offer. We meet every other week. So it's about twice a month. And it is the most beautiful group of women. They show up, they share vulnerably, they ask amazing questions. Honestly, they get better answers than most people because they ask really good questions. And then I'm like, oh, wow, that was a really good question and a really good answer. Okay. Sometimes I surprise myself. Okay. So whether you are feeling called and drawn to join my Hell Yes Method group, or if it's a different community that you're feeling drawn to, I really invite you to check it out, to figure out where you need to be and just show up. Even if you don't do all the trainings, even if you don't do all the different things that whatever, is part of the group. I mean, I don't have a lot of to-dos in my groups because I also want to make it manageable and really just simple but effective. But just show up, okay? Just choose to show up for yourself, for your future self, for the life that you are wanting, for the life that you are claiming, for the wealth that is yours, that is out there, all of it. Because our communities matter and they open up doors and connections that couldn't come any other way. And a lot of times they also bring money, maybe not in the way that we expect, but they do in other ways. So go find your community. It is out there. Let's find your money. It is out there. And my friends, we can do that together. So message, comment, and let me know where you're at. If you enjoyed this episode, there are more tips, tricks, and fun ways to bring in money in my weekly newsletter. Sign up and get all the juicy details every single Monday.